Activity 2.2, Interpreting Absolute Value Statements. Absolute values are used in real-world applications when you are interested in only the number and not in the sign of the number. When you look at temperature changes, you could say the temperature fell by, decreased by, or increased by an absolute value. Complete the table with an appropriate situation, absolute value statement, and/or number. For the last row, assign the correct units to the number based on your situation. So the first one they did for us here, the temperature fell from 55 degrees Fahrenheit to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature fell by 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Numeric example with units, minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Second example, the bank account balance went from $2,500 to $2,250. So he spent $250. And so my example here would be minus $250, all gone. Next, the bank account balance went from $495 to $615. He earned $120. And then the numeric example would be $120. The water level increased by 4.9 feet. I'm going to write down the water level went from 2 feet to 6.9 feet. Okay, and then the number example with that would be 4.9 feet. Next, during the hike, the elevation went from 1,125 feet to 1,750 feet. So the elevation increased by 625 feet. And then I would have 625 feet go in here. Okay. And then this last one could be a whole bunch of different things, but the water level went from 25 feet to 15 feet. The water level decreased by 10 feet. And then it would be negative 10 feet that the water went down with. Okay, so just kind of thinking of some numbers, positive and negative, and how it changes and how it applies to some real world type situations. Okay, so that's what they're kind of going through here, some examples of how we get at positives and negatives in real world situations. Continuing the same thing, you also use absolute value statements to describe how numbers compare with other numbers. You often use these statements without thinking about less than or greater than. Rather, you use words like debt, lost, colder, depth, above, hotter, or below. Complete the table with an appropriate situation, absolute value statement, and/or example. For the last row, assign the correct units to the numeric example based on your situation. So first we have a water level less than negative 2.5 feet, more than 2.5 feet below a full pool. And then my numeric example would be negative 3 feet. Okay. Next, an account balance less than negative $30, a debt greater than $30, and an example that would be greater than that would be negative $35. Got it. So below, so negative 3 feet would be below, greater than would be negative, a debt that's greater than. All right. A weight less than negative 7.5 pounds of previous weight, lost more than 7.5 pounds. Well, if I lost 8 pounds, that would be losing more weight. Okay. A dive to a height less than negative 300 feet, deeper than 350 feet below the water. And so something deeper would be negative 400 feet below the water. Okay. Let's see here. The next one, a temperature less than negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than 10 degrees below zero. An example of that would be 15 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. Okay. Depth greater than 15 meters. A level less than negative 15 meters. And so negative 16 meters would be greater than that. Okay. A golf tournament stroke more than 7 strokes below par. Whoa. A golf stroke total less than negative 7 strokes off par, which would be negative 8 strokes, would be less than that. Okay. All right. Last but not least, an account balance less than negative $95, a debt greater than $95. And so if I had negative $100, that would be a debt that was greater than $95. Okay. So we're just kind of thinking about positive and negative numbers in real life situations and how we can kind of word them. And in this second part right here, we're thinking about greater than or less than. All right. And so we're just kind of thinking of situations in which we could have positive and negative numbers.